Hey, what's going on guys? It's me, Aiden from Cartoon Apocalypse, and today a new Miraculous Ladybug episode just came out, and let me say this episode is amazing. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it now. You can probably find it on YouTube somewhere. So this episode is called Troublemaker, and we saw like a little promo for it like a week ago. It was less than a week ago, so you can go check that out if you're interested. The reason why I'm telling you to go check out a promo video is because I pretty much explained like the first half of this episode, and that because we already knew the first half of this episode due to a Comic-Con reading of the first half of this episode. So you can go check that out if you want like an analysis on the first half. Obviously it won't have all the clips from this episode because that was recorded before it, but I explained pretty much everything, so if you really want that, you can go check it out. Recording Miraculous Ladybug analyses are really fun because it's like each episode follows the same storyline. Someone gets akumatized, and the Ladybug and Cat Noir save the day, pretty much, yada yada, there we go. That's pretty much the end of the episode. There's like two big things. They get akumatized, they get unakumatized, there's some fighting in between. Pretty much that's the synopsis for every single episode. But this episode, the villain was actually good. Like, she got one of Ladybug's earrings, which is like part of her Miraculous. Now, if you remember from the episode, she didn't transform back right away. It was a very slow transformation, and the reason being for that, I think, is because Troublemaker only grabbed one of her earrings. She didn't grab both, so it was like a fading transition. So we'd learn from this episode that Marinette does need both of her earrings to stay as Ladybug, but if half is still in, then it goes slower for the untransformation part. And let's just go back to the scene where she gets her Miraculous taken away, Ladybug. Her face is like halfway uncovered. Like this, like, oh my gosh, if Cat Noir was to just look over, it's like, okay, to be fair guys, it's like, come on, it should be fairly obvious that Marinette's Ladybug and that Adrienne's Cat Noir, but like, come on, if, I feel like just for the logic of this, if Cat Noir saw half of her mask on, he would be able to make that assumption, just because like, oh, this show is already really bad at, hey, saying why they can't. Because people are just assuming that it's like magic, and that's just the best assumption that we have at this point, because there's literally no other assumptions that we can make yet. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but it seems like each episode that we go on, the villains get closer and closer to getting the Miraculouses. And my assumption is that one day Hawkmoth will end up getting both Miraculouses. This will probably be when Marinette and Adrienne's identity gets revealed, or maybe not, I don't know, we'll have to see. But he's gonna get those, he's gonna make the wish, because we know you get like one wish, but it's super like dangerous and stuff, and he's gonna wish for his wife back, or Adrienne's mother, and that's gonna turn into Peacock, which we know is confirmed, I think, for the end of season 2. Not too sure on that, but definitely in season 3, and we know a little bit about Peacock and stuff, but I'm pretty sure that's what's gonna happen. So it's just like a matter of time until they get their Miraculouses taken away. And this is just pushing the fact that they're getting closer and closer each episode that we see. So it's like Marinette almost got her identity revealed. If it had been like 5 minutes more, there would have been no costume left. So it's like super close. And what really surprised me about this episode is that Marinette was joking around with Cat Noir, because Cat Noir was like, oh hey, well maybe I'll get to see your identity, or maybe you won't, whatever, yada yada. And Marinette was like, haha, well you don't get to see it this time. And it's like, earlier back in like season 1 and 2, like earlier on, she was like, no, we can't do that because it's important to keep our identity secret. And in this episode, she didn't seem to care as much. It was more of a joking matter to her, which is interesting. That makes me believe that they are going to do a face reveal eventually later on. So it will be interesting to see how that plays out.
That was a close call. Certainly not how I dreamed we'd share our secret identity. Oh no, not like that.
It'll have to wait, at least until we kick Trouble's butt and Hawkmoth.
So Troublemaker was probably the best villain we have seen yet, because she went straight for the Miraculouses. There was no messing around. and it was pretty serious. But let's talk about the other side of the things, which we have seen a lot of in these past couple episodes. And that's gonna be the Adrianette stuff, because at the very end, I knew it. I knew that at the very end we would be seeing that. I think I called that in the promo. I knew at the very end we would be seeing Marinette and Adrien have a conversation, and it would either say, yeah, Adrien knows or he doesn't know. And I don't know, I follow some people on Instagram that make like miraculous posts and stuff, and it's like, I love seeing the memes. There was a couple memes that went around that was like, Adrien won't know because it's like, he's too dumb and stuff. I was just like, that's pretty funny. But pretty much Marinette's going to school, because apparently school's still in for them. And it's just like, she runs into Adrien. She's been avoiding everyone else because of what happened, because all of her posters of Adrien got displayed on live TV for everyone to see. So that happened. So she's just been trying to avoid everyone. And she runs into Adrien. And Adrien's like, oh, you have a crush on me, don't you? And Marinette's like, no, I don't. I just like fashion. And she got more fluent. She didn't like crack up. I mean, okay, she still did, but she didn't like the entire time. So that's an improvement. But Adrien was just messing around with her and playing it off like he didn't know. And he invited her to go to his next photo shoot. So it'll be interesting to see it, because me personally, I think that Adrien does realize that Marinette has... Okay, it should be obvious though, like, it's just like the identity things. Like, Marinette, it's so obvious to tell. And, like, come on, it should be just like, oh yeah, I knew. I feel like as soon as they start dating, because it has been confirmed from Thomas Ostruck, the creator of the show, that Adrianette would be happening. But I think when it does happen, Adrien's going to be like, oh yeah, I knew all along that you did. That's my guess, and I think that, I mean, it just makes the most sense. If you can't give us the, oh yeah, their identities are secret stuff, okay, you got to give us at least Adrien noticed that Marinette likes him. Come on, that's like so obvious. Just give us one win, alright? It's like, come on. Anyway, Adrien just plays it off like, oh yeah, we're just friends, ha ha ha, you like my fashion stuff because you are a fashion designer, yeah. And I feel like that got a lot of people mad, because it's like, people just want to see Adrianette. Now this show supposedly is going to have 6 seasons, which is a lot, so we still have a lot of time to see Adrianette happen. And by not having it yet, it gives the fans an anticipation, so we are just excited for it. And I mean, the show wouldn't be as good if Adrianette was there the entire time. We want to see some action going up to it, so we will just have to wait for it to happen, because eventually it does happen. Also, Luca, maybe, I mean, we haven't seen him since that one episode, so I don't know what's going on with him, but people got like really scared with Luca x Marinette. I don't know what this Lucanette, maybe, I don't know, but people got pretty scared with that. But we haven't seen him since, so I think it's safe to say we're good on Adrianette. One more thing I wanted to mention: when Ladybug and Cat Noir were in Marinette's room, Marinette or Ladybug was like, they kept on uncovering more and more photos of Adrien, and Cat Noir noticed this, and Marinette was just like, no, we'll do that later, whatever, yada yada. So it was like giving more hints to Cat Noir that Marinette was Ladybug. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see how we're wondering, like that one scene where Ladybug was like, oh, save me, Cat Noir, help me, because she only had a plate. That was, I'm assuming that's just all part of their act to have Troublemaker go for Ladybug again, because like she had booby trapped her earrings she super glued her earrings so that Troublemaker's fingers would get stuck. So that's why before Jagged Stone and the crew walk into Marinette's room, we see Tikki go behind the TV monitor, or just the computer monitor. But in the next scene, when we see Marinette running up the stairs, Tikki appears in the bag. Now you could just say like, oh, there's a secret passageway from Marinette's room into her bag. And I mean, that would just be like stupid continuity stuff. Yeah, never mind. I'm just gonna say that I found a continuity error. I noticed that when I was first watching the episode. I was like, you could do better than that, guys. Alright, it's okay though. I love this show. So I can't wait to see more of this. I just thought I'd point that out because it's kind of funny to see Tiki appear in 2 places at once. Maybe there's 2 clones of Tiki. Should I make a theory on 2 clones of Tiki? Because that would be kind of interesting to see a theory on. Anyways, that's gonna wrap up this video. If you were a little bit sad that I didn't talk about how Jagged Stone was in Marinette's Bakery, I explained all that in the promo analysis, which you can go check out, because I pretty much explained the first half. I was pretty much talking about the half when Troublemaker was a thing, and her powers were pretty cool. She could phase through walls, her powers were cool. But anyway, that's gonna be all for this video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Goodbye.